Hi everyone, and welcome back to Knot Weave Stitch. My name is Gisela, and this week we are going to be talking all things Halloween and fibre crafts. Whether you are decorating, getting ready for a Halloween party, or just want a spooky craft for October, this episode will be perfect for you. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling super cozy at the moment. I love this time of year. In particular with fibre crafts, I think it leads in so well with things like Halloween and Christmas. It's so great because it's got those lovely warm textures, those lovely autumnal colours, all of the oranges and the browns and reds, the rustic vibes. It's a really great time to get into fibre crafts or to pick it back up again if you haven't been crafting for a while. I think now's the time to start. And you can really make it nice and cozy, really get yourself in the zone for Halloween. So you can set up your craft space, your office, whatever area you have. You can pop on maybe a spooky playlist. What I like to do is I listen to like autumnal jazz, like a jazz cafe style thing with like rain going in the background while I craft. I find that really relaxing. So I try and kind of set the mood with it. I pop on some autumnal candles. Pumpkin spice is my favourite smell out of any of the candles that I have. I love pumpkin spice, so I always have that on. You know, you can make it cozy with a lovely blanket, pop on a lovely spooky film, autumnal film, whatever floats your boat. I don't like horrors myself, but I really like to have an autumnal film on. So while I'm doing my Halloween crafts, that's how I like to set everything up for myself. So now's the time to start thinking cozy and start preparing for Halloween. If you haven't already done so, now's the time. I know you're probably thinking, why are we talking about Halloween already? Well, us crafters, we have to be ahead. So if you haven't already done it, now's the time to get going with it. So I'm going to give some suggestions today of some lovely Halloween crafts that you could do this season. So the first idea I wanted to talk about is felt decorations. Now you can have them as just simple decorations that you could hang up on one of those little tree branches. Sorry if you can hear the dog. He's snoozing next to me again. You could use them as part of a garland, and it's really simple to make these. So all you really need is those felt sheets, and you can get them in different colours. Most of the colours that you probably need are things like white, black and orange, but you can then just grab yourself scissors, a thread and a needle, and you can start making all sorts of different shapes. So you could cut out pumpkins, cats, ghosts, bats, whatever it may be. So cut that out of the felt, and then with your needle and thread you can stitch those together. You can always get some stuffing, or if you have any leftover yarns, this is a great way to recycle it. So that's what I like to do. If I've got any offcuts from other projects, I just save them in a jar, and then I just like to fill other bits and pieces in. So anything you've got left over, you can stuff in between the pieces of felt and then sew it together, and you can make yourself some gorgeous decorations. Like I said, garlands. You could even stick it onto a wreath. Very, very simple. So that can even be a really good craft to do with children as well, because you can just, get a plastic needle and help them out with the cutting of the different shapes there. So it might be a nice craft to do with your family. So the next idea is in the same sort of vein, but it's with crochet knitting. So you can make some gorgeous Halloween garlands. And again, you could make miniature pumpkins, bats, ghosts, and you can string them together to pop on your fireplace, your windows, shelves, even a party table. If you're throwing a Halloween party, that can be really nice as well. So if you have that skill in crocheting and knitting, I'm so jealous, but I've seen the most gorgeous designs. So that might be something that can be quite nice there. And you can change up what you have on the garland. You can change it each year. You can make several of your own. So that is a really nice idea if you have those skills in crochet and knitting. The third idea is using macrame. So you can make Halloween themed wall hangings. So I've made myself ghosts and bats before, And simply with that, all you would need is obviously your macrame cord in usually things like white or black, a dowel to hang your cords off of, a pair of scissors and some measuring tape. And it's literally just as simple as that in terms of the materials that you would need. But you can make ghost bats, you can even make a big spider web and like make a miniature spider in that web as well using macrame. And I've even seen people make skeletons. You can make a miniature skeleton, you could do a full size skeleton, make a really huge wall hanging. So macrame can really be great for that type of Halloween decoration. Wreaths. It's that time of year. Wreaths are out. So I'm thinking of this as more of an indoor wreath because obviously with the fibre arts you don't really want that outside. Unless you're using more kind of weatherproof materials, I wouldn't recommend having this outside because otherwise it will get all soggy, potentially get a bit mouldy. So when I'm talking about wreaths here is more for indoor use only, but that can look fantastic if you have like a door that you can hang it up inside, maybe pop it on a shelf or something. They can look stunning. I know myself, I have so many different wreaths up inside my house as well as outside. So this is really a great time of year to do that. And you can use so many different fibre crafts to make a beautiful wreath. So crochet, knitting, needle felting. There are so many different crafts that you could do on a wreath. And you can also use that kind of spider web thread that you see, that kind of cobweb effect that you see this time of year all in the shops. So you could use that, wrap that around your wreath base, and then you can attach all of your crochet, knitting, whatever it is that you've made onto the wreath. And you can do little cute characters, so a little spider or a bat. You can make it look far more realistic. So I've made quite a realistic looking bat hanging upside down in the centre of my wreath, and that looks really, really cool as well. You could do little pumpkins, so you can make like an autumnal pumpkin patch on your wreath. So many different options there. So I think a wreath is a really good way to use your fibre crafts, to use your skills there, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And lastly, a little bit more of a messy one, but this might be a great one to do with children as well, is tie-dye. So you could use tie-dye to make monster style shirts. So you can either use up a shirt, like a white shirt that you've already got, or you can get a really cheapo one in a shop and you can make a monster themed one. So I'm talking with colours like greens, purples, blacks. Or you could even tie-dye a trick-or-treat bag. So that's a great way to make your own there. Again, if you maybe have a plain bag lying around, or again, you can get some cheap ones just for a couple of pounds there and make it your own. It can be really fun to get children involved with this. And have a go at different styles of tie-dye. So wrapping it in different ways to see the different effects. So you can do like a bullseye effect there. You can make more like stripes in it instead. Lots of different ways that you can do tie-dye, and you might not have the tie-dye kit, but you can again get them. They're not too expensive, and there are a lot more child-friendly ones as well that you can find now. So that might be a really good kind of family craft to do there as well. And thinking of a way to basically repurpose or recycle your crafts. This is a great opportunity to recycle old fabrics and yarn scraps. So like I said, if you've got an old t-shirt, an old bag lying around, maybe even old socks, you can use that for tie-dye. Like I mentioned, with those offcuts, if you've got any yarns left over, any fabric strips that aren't quite big enough for another project, you can use that as stuffing to fill in your felted decorations. In terms of your tie-dye, again, you can use natural dyes like beetroot for red, turmeric for yellow, black tea for that kind of brownish hue. So again, thinking a bit more sustainable with your crafting. It doesn't also have to be expensive by repurposing what you've got lying around. It's a great way to make budget crafts, and it can be really fun as well. So you don't need to go out and spend money. You can literally use what you've got lying around and make it in a really fun way. So in terms of what I myself have with my Halloween decorations. I have, like I mentioned before, some Halloween fibre art wreaths. So in particular, my needle felting, I love to make needle felt wreaths. So I use rattan bases, and then I get my spider web cobweb thing that you can get in a shop, just literally for £1 or £2. And I wrap that around my rattan wreath, and because it's obviously the twigs there, it holds onto it. I don't need to glue it down. I then make needle felt items. So like I said before, I've made a needle felt bat that hangs upside down in the centre of the wreath. So I literally just got a hot glue gun and I stuck that to the top centre of the wreath so it hangs down. I have another wreath which is a pumpkin one. So again, another rattan wreath with the spider web wrapped all around it. And then I made myself a little pumpkin with a face on it, and I've stuck that to the bottom centre of the wreath there. So I really love making these needle felt Halloween wreaths. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I have them hanging up around my house. I also have a pumpkin wire wreath, and what I decided to do for that one is I used macrame. So I pretty much simply did a half square knot using some orange cord, and I went round the wire just following it along, and it basically twists because it's a half square knot, so it just twists around the wire. And then I used a little bit of green cord for the stem, and I just glued that down with a hot glue gun, and it's made a really gorgeous macrame pumpkin wreath. I then also have a bat macrame wall hanging from last year. So again, just simply using a dowel, black macrame cord, a tape measure and scissors, and I've got that hanging up, which looks really cute as well. And you can always add beads into it to jazz it up a little bit if you want to, but that is another craft that I have hanging up. And then lastly, needle felt garlands and key rings. So I have lots of little needle felt ghosts that I've made, and some pumpkins as well. And you can string them up just with a bit of string or twine and thread a needle through all of your little felted pieces, and you can hang that up on a fireplace, you can hang that up on a shelf, whatever it may be. So I've got mine hanging up on my fireplace at the moment, and you can change it up. You can design different characters if you like cats, a witch's hat, little Frankenstein faces, whatever it may be. That's a really good idea to do a little bit of needle felting. So I hope some of those ideas have got you in that spooky Halloween mood. If you are making anything for Halloween, please do let me know, show me what you're making. So you can do that by joining our Patreon. So with the bottom tier, it is free to join. And then you'll be part of the community chat where you can let me know what you're working on, and you can post up photos as well. I think it's always lovely to see what everyone is working on. There are higher tiers as well with the Patreon, and with those you get more benefits as well. And obviously it does help the channel there to keep us going, because I am completely self-funded. So anything you can contribute would be fantastic, and obviously you will get benefits for that as well. If you want to look for a little bit of inspiration or for some more step-by-step crafts, I do have a YouTube channel, and it's under Gisela Nartin. And on there I have some long form and short form videos of different crafts, and obviously at the moment it is all autumnal and Halloween crafts. So if you want a video that really explains all of the little details of how to make those crafts, you can find that on my YouTube channel. As ever, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next one.